everybody, Suzanne Connors Inc. with Dawning Visions Hypnosis. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel that you get helpful, supportive supervision where you work? This is one of the complaints that one of the people whose videos I watch to find out why people leave mental health therapy providing. And it's sad. It is sad that people who are employed to supervise others either do not care about doing the job. Worse, in some cases, blame the poor new hire for not knowing everything that the supervisor feels they ought to know. Can be really demeaning and nasty if they don't like them, or even ignore them. How are you supposed to be able to work through the issues that you have with your patients if you don't have a good supervisor to help you work through these situations? Especially if there is something in that patient that is hitting you the wrong way and you don't know how to really deal with it. I mean, maybe they seem a little bit too close to your mom, or if you didn't have a good relationship with your mom, for example. Or maybe they just have a problem that you just don't know how to handle. Because maybe you're new to the business and you're just learning. This is a real problem because you need to have guidance to learn how to help these patients, some of them who are really frail. And to do that on your own is really quite impossible. I know that when I was working in conventional mental health back in the early 90s, I had terrible supervisors. Well, they were directors of the programs that I worked at for supported housing clients, mentally ill adults. And, I had to question how they ever got their license to practice. Because, these are mental health counselors and people like that. They didn't seem to understand that our patients were in a supported housing program because they needed the support. And instead, unfortunately, in too many of these programs, my clients were being demeaned, as well as being over-medicated and being blamed for being tired. Yeah, if you're taking a whole lot of medication, yeah, you will get sedated. That's what happens. It's just a crazy system. And I don't know that it's doing any better than it was back then. I haven't been involved in it since 2002 when I left to learn hypnotism and learn the neuro-linguistic programming and never looked back. So the first thing is, it really isn't your fault if you have a lousy supervisor, and it might be time to either see if you can get a better supervisor in the place that you're working at, or to find a different job where you actually have supervision that works for you as you're learning how to do what you need to learn how to do to provide really good services to your patients. I decided to leave conventional mental health totally, because I really couldn't stand the way that it was all based on pathology, managing symptoms, over medication, and a lot of derogatory ideas toward the mentally ill. Even when a lot of these counselors in these programs had their own mental illnesses. In fact, one of the directors that a program that I worked at ended up leaving the program because she had to go into a program for depressives herself, just to make the point clear. So that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is you can actually get into a different profession like I did. If you're interested in learning about hypnotism and neuro-linguistic programming, where we actually do feel and do know that if we open the space for our patients to heal, they will. Because we know how to work in their unconscious, subconscious minds, where all of that content is that needs to be transformed from unhealthy thoughts and behaviors to life-giving thoughts and behaviors. And there's a whole healing protocol that I've developed, and it's not about just getting healed, it's about being able to live into their compelling futures, being able to have a future that's really alluring, a true reason to overcome all the problems they had. Now, of course, this doesn't work for people who have psychotic features, and it doesn't work for people who are diagnosed by a licensed professional with personality disorders or people with an IQ under 70. But for pretty much anybody else, it works, and it works really, really well. I know because I've been doing it for 20 years. Check out some of the testimonials on my website, dawningvisions.com, to see for yourself. I will leave my contact information in the description below. If you'd like to find out more information, we can set up a video call and I'll answer your questions and we'll see if that's something you'd like to do. It includes a 12-month mentorship so that when you're working with your patients, you can actually text me and let me know that you need a little bit of guidance, and I will tell you exactly what techniques to use, and we'll tell you again how to do it if you don't know how to do a certain technique. My trainees love this program, and I don't know of any hypnosis or NLP training program right now that is including a mentorship program of any kind. But I'll tell you this, that's how I learned how to do this work. For 2 years, I called Hawaii from Boston practically every week to find out how best to help my clients, because the last thing I wanted to do was to harm them because of my ignorance. So that's all I have for you this time. As always, I thank you for spending your time with me. Till next time. Bye-bye, all.